So I kind of want to preface this video by saying that the T-Rex and Spinosaurus figures are both going to be getting replaced for me by Edel Collectibles. So while I am a little bit upset in this video with some of the issues that I have with the figure, they're both going to be getting replaced, and I'll definitely post an update on how the new figures are, but I have to just commend Edel Collectibles for their excellent customer service. Now, it did take me a few months to get the figures, but he did always keep up with me through Messenger, and even more than that, he's agreed to replace both of the figures once he finishes new figures for me. So I'll definitely give an update on how it goes when I receive them, and some of the differences that I have between each set of figures. Now, I will say I'm definitely a little bit upset, especially in the Spinosaurus review towards the end. But there is still no denying that the sculpt and the paintwork on these figures is like show-stoppingly beautiful. Probably some of the best pieces that I own in regards to their sculpt and their paint. The fact that they were handmade makes it that much better. But I'm still a little hesitant on my recommendations for these figures, considering the asking price. And we'll see when the new figures come in how the articulation goes there. But it's definitely a very, very high-end collectible, and you have to think if you're buying it, you are almost buying a statue that you can move around. It's definitely not a figure with a lot of playability where you're going to sit there and pose it and move it around nonstop. You kind of want to find a static pose for the figures and kind of set it and forget it. And yeah, guys, enjoy the video.
Atomic Fair.
So what you are looking at in front of me is the completely custom-made Edel Collectibles Spinosaurus figure. Now, this figure is absolutely beautiful, completely amazing. The sculpt work and the paint work is incredible, and you won't find another Spinosaurus figure like it. It's truly one of a kind. And if you've seen my review on the T-Rex, then you know that there are some serious problems with the articulation and with the ability of these figures to stand on their own. As you can see, I kind of have him mounted on a stand. But the sculpt work and the paint work, specifically on the Spinosaurus, almost make it worth the purchase. Now, I say that because if you want a highly detailed version of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, there is one coming out from Mattel that will be $50, and I paid $600 for my green Tyrannosaurus Rex. So I can't really say that that one is worth it, but the Spinosaurus is a little different because I'm not sure that Mattel will even be able to come close to the paintwork done here by Edel Collectibles. Now I'm going to get into some of the articulation issues and some of the larger issues that I have with both of these figures, and a lot of that is the easy breakability of the figures, like just how easy it is for them to be broken and chipped and paint chipping and all that stuff. Their lack of ability to be able to stand up on their own is a huge issue. All that being said, they are absolutely like showstoppers if you have them on your display shelf, and they are really like it could be like a centerpiece of your display for sure. So we'll take a look here at some of the paintwork. Okay. So yeah, you can see here just all of that paintwork done on the Spinosaurus and just how absolutely beautiful it is. Now there is like a little ridge here for articulation here in the center spine, but you can kind of close that gap and make it look like that, make it look natural. And all of the points of articulation are what you would expect. You know, we got the tail here. Now the tail is actually done much, much better than the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The Tyrannosaurus Rex tail just kind of flops around and kind of just ends up pointing downward inevitably. But this one you can actually move around and pose. And I will say that the articulation on this figure is a little bit tighter despite its inability to stand. I think that probably has to do with the size of the feet and stuff like that. Which isn't, you know, the size of the feet is okay because that's accurate to the movie. I think it might just be hard to get the figure to balance, to stand, just because of the distribution of weight. Maybe the legs could have been a bit heavier. I'm not sure what would have exactly fixed it. But yeah, you can see here, you know, the articulation on the head. Now this is a huge problem I have. Like I said, there's a lot of paint chipping. Here, I'll get it to focus. There's a lot of paint chipping here on the top. Just from me moving the head. I mean, look at that. Yeah, you can see just how bad that paint chipping is there. Yeah, it's really rough. It's really rough. The T-Rex is the same way. You can kind of pop his head off, and when you see the neck, the paint is really, really scratched up. Now look at the spine here. It's a similar issue where you can see some paint chipping there on the top, just from the figure shifting around, from me trying to move it in a normal way. I haven't posed it around too much or anything, but anytime I do, there's almost certainly some degree of paint chipping. There's more here on the claw, just from me having to kind of stand the figure. So like I said before, these are definitely sort of movable models, but you can see here how beautiful the face sculpt is. Of course, the mouth is fully articulated, all that good stuff. Yeah, but see, I also had an issue where a couple of my teeth on my Spinosaurus are chipped, because similar to the T-Rex, the head fell off the figure. And when the head fell off the figure, it chipped a few of the teeth. Unfortunately, the whole tooth didn't come off, just a piece of the tooth, so I wasn't really able to just kind of super glue it back on like the T-Rex. But yeah, you can see the paintwork here on the head is really unmatched. I don't think Mattel will be able to touch what Edel Collectibles did here with this Spinosaurus. Now, the last thing I'm going to get into here on this figure, I'm going to pop the head on. Not sure if you could see, but there was some paint that chipped off just there from me popping the head on. You can kind of see it chip off, or kind of dust off a little bit there. Okay, let's see if I can get him back on the stand. There you go. That is the Edel Collectibles Spinosaurus figure, and I'm going to compare here with the T-Rex before I go, so you can kind of see. Well guys, unfortunately, just in the time that it took me to grab the Tyrannosaurus Rex figure to compare, the head fell off and the neck completely broke on the figure. So yeah, I would definitely just do not buy these figures, guys. as great as the sculpt work and stuff is, maybe get the Spinosaurus. I definitely cannot recommend the T-Rex. I mean, I can't even get this figure to stand for the money that I paid for it. So it's a little bit of it's a pretty big letdown, to be honest with you guys. But the Spinosaurus figure is definitely very beautiful. And if you really do have the extra cash lying around, then consider buying it. But if not, then yeah, I can't really say that it's worth it, especially if the figure can't even stand on its own. And the figure just kind of has a way of really not posing around when you're trying to get it to move around. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what you guys think about this Edel Collectibles Spinosaurus. And whatever you guys think, comment down below. But for this video, that's all I got. So until the next one, be safe and stay well. Bye-bye.